Prince Michael is the Queen's first cousin, and his grandfather, King George V, was the first cousin of Tsar Nicholas.
And I believe even his name has a Russian connection. Is that correct?
It is indeed. He's named after the Grand Duke Michael Alexandrovich, who was the younger brother of Tsar Nicholas.
And I think for most people in Britain, if they've ever seen these old photographs of the Russian Tsar Nicholas, Prince Michael has a beard like the Tsar did, and there is a remarkable physical resemblance, isn't there?
There's an extraordinary physical resemblance. If you were casting a film and wanted a character to play the Tsar, he seems almost a double. I think that one of the reasons that he has taken such an enormous amount of trouble, firstly, to learn Russian, which he did in the 1960s. He became an army interpreter in 1968. He spent 20 years in the army, retiring in 1981.
So his Russian is actually quite good.
His Russian is extremely good, and after the fall of the Soviet Union, and since 1992, he has been to Russia around 50 times. He's the patron of the Russo-British Chamber of Commerce, and also he has devoted a great deal of time, it seems, to becoming popular with Russia, to narrating, for example, a documentary about the tragic fate of the Tsar and his family. And, of course, one bears in mind there's a certain guilt in Britain on the subject because, of course, they did not receive asylum in Britain over royal doubts over the reception this would receive publicly.
And whose decision was that? Whose decision was it in the end not to allow the Russian royal family to claim asylum here?
Ultimately, it was the decision of George V. Something I suspect he felt extremely guilty about. And there's no doubt, I think, that is perhaps one of the reasons that Prince Michael is doing what he is doing. It's important to remember that as the second son of the fourth son of George V, he does not undertake official royal duties. His brother does, he doesn't. But he has taken on an unpaid royal role whilst being a business consultant. And he's represented the Queen when abroad. He and his wife, Baroness Marie Christine von Rebnitz, whom he married in 1978, she was a Roman Catholic, and that meant that he was debarred from the line of succession. They have represented the Queen abroad at certain occasions and in certain countries. But he does not actually undertake official royal engagements. He is a business consultant. He's also very well known as a Freemason. He's the Grand Master of the Grand Lodge, and he's attached to about 100 charitable organisations of one sort or another.
People outside England or Britain may not understand that just being the Queen's cousin is not necessarily a route to riches, is it? I mean, he doesn't actually get paid by the state.
Only the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh receive money from the civil list, which is funded by the state. Certain other members of the royal family receive what is called a parliamentary annuity, and then Parliament is refunded by the monarch from the revenues of the from the revenues of the Duchy of Lancaster. It's important that listeners realise that being a member of the British royal family does not mean you receive state funding. He has to make his way on his own, and that has obviously involved him in various business ventures, but he is placed enormous emphasis because of his background on charitable activities.
Do we actually know very much about, it seems almost a genetic legacy that he should have a connection to Russia. Do we know exactly what he's done in Russia or what he likes doing in Russia?
We know that he goes to Russia and has a charitable foundation there. We know also, according to the British press anyway, that he is popular in Russia. We know, most importantly, that in 1998, when the Tsar and his family were buried in a ceremony in St. Petersburg that Prince Michael attended. I gather it was a somewhat controversial ceremony in Russia under President Yeltsin. And there's little doubt he sees this as an integral part of the function that he has taken on.